should have a strategy for your business when you start. Now, after we set the strategy in place, it started growing multifold. Last year around this time, we were like 50 to 60 members. Now we are 160 members. 3.5 years, the graph is like this, and suddenly it's like this.
What was the biggest challenge when you started this journey of homepreneurs?
When I started Homepreneurs, the biggest thing was not having a strategy. I wanted to give back, but I didn't know how to give back. I was seeing a lot of women who were into business, but they knew their art well. Whatever sector of business they are in, that side they know well. But
Share that journey. We really want to inspire women to come out of the comfort zone and be bold enough to take these kind
take
of...
up these roles.
Exactly.
Right? So I've worked in India, I've worked in Bahrain, I've worked in UAE. These are 3 areas when I have worked in construction. The experience in India, there I was working on the sites and all, but it was not very welcoming. If I compare it to the UAE, so the respect you get, that is quite different here. Here, people are there to support you. I've never had a negative experience at a site. And I can see that from you also. You are also into multiple businesses. How did that also happen?
So my journey started in... Hi, this is Preea V Mane signing in for another podcast show. So people who don't know me, I am an entrepreneur, a founder and a CEO for my 2 brands, Unfold and Iconic Alphas. I also am an author for my book. You can find my book on my website. So today we have a special guest on the show. Her name is Bilina Sandeep, and an amazing introduction, which I really don't want to spoil it. I'm going to keep it for her to give her beautiful introduction because I'm super impressed. Welcome on the show, Bilina.
Thank you so much, Preea.
Pleasure to have you on the show.
And it's my pleasure to be here. Thanks for inviting me on your show as well.
Thank you. So without spoiling your introduction from my side, because the passion that you have, I would love you to give your full introduction.
Oh my God. So yes, for everyone who's watching the show, my name is Bilina Sandeep. So I have a few different businesses that I'm part of. I'll start with the one I'm most passionate about, which is called Homepreneurs Club. It's a women entrepreneurs platform. It's a networking platform where women entrepreneurs from different categories and sizes of businesses, all of them come together. And the whole intention is like you grow together when you're able to support each other, be it in terms of passing business to each other or even just being there as a experienced business owner who is there to support another business owner to grow to the next level.
Beautiful.
Yes, and you're also part of the club now.
Yes,
so you are
thank you so much. A proud member, I must say.
Yes, so this is what the Homepreneurs Club is about. Other than that, I come from a construction background. I'm a civil engineer and a chartered surveyor. So I've been in UAE. I've worked for more than 12 years in construction, majorly on the contractor side. So I've worked with a lot of A-grade contractors. So my major forte is commercial and contracts management in construction. And right now, I run a marketing agency that specializes in helping developers and contractors, as well as the whole construction sector, get more clients, grow their visibility, and the overall marketing for these companies. This is what I do right now. And I'm also a director in a chartered surveying firm. We are a project management and quantity surveying firm. So these are 3 verticals I deal with.
This is amazing. And I think you're a perfect candidate to come on the show. Reason being an author of my book,
Yes.
which is dedicated into strategy, leadership, and management. And we are also having segments when it comes to women empowerment and youth empowerment.
Amazing.
So you are fitting in so many categories within this segment. So I cannot fit you into one, but you'll be part of many of the segments. So
thank you
beautiful.
so much.
It is so nice to see a woman who's not only doing into one sector, but multiple sectors and juggling into many areas and managing it so precisely and so beautifully, because even the responses that I see from your members, they really love you.
Amazing. Thank you.
So Bilina, tell me your journey starting from how did you start your career?
Okay.
So let's start from your career and then we take your whole journey.
Sure. So maybe to start off with, I'm from India. I'm from Kerala, to be precise. I was born in Kerala. Maybe till my grade 4, I studied in Kerala, and my father used to work in Bahrain. So then we moved to Bahrain. So then the rest of the schooling I did in Bahrain, and after that I went back to India, did my higher studies, did my civil engineering. So right from the moment I had to choose civil engineering, again there was a lot of what do you say, stigma around it.
Exactly. I wanted to know how did you manage to get into this line, because usually it's more of fashion designing,
Yes.
finance, but civil engineering, it's so interesting. Tell me that journey. What was the motivation you got into and your challenges?
I mean, for me, see, so my dad used to come from a very clerical kind of background, but he used to work a lot in the construction sector. So he used to work with the logistics of the construction, procurement of construction, all these areas. So I've seen him do it. I've been in touch with that industry, and I knew that it was something. Maybe while you're growing, you're seeing that it just has an impact on you, right? But when I wanted to choose that, I had a lot of people tell me civil engineering is not for girls. It's you have to go to the sides, get yourself dirty with the cement and all those things. So why do you want to choose that? And if you were to go for engineering, why don't you take electronics, or why don't you go for computer science? Because that's a safe zone for women. So, but the more people say no, you want to go for it. That's age, right?
Yes, you said it. We are the rebels, isn't
Exactly. So somehow, I mean, I wouldn't say I was hugely like a career focused person or something. I think it is more of people saying no, then you want to prove yourself, I can do it.
Very
And then
nice.
I got into that. And like 4 years down the lane, after completing the engineering, again, though you go into civil engineering, like there are a lot of recruitment companies come in the college, right? So they like TCS and all those software and that computer science. So, but they recruit from mechanical, electrical, civil, all of them. So I was told to attend those interviews. I did attend. I'm not saying I didn't, but I didn't go through it. Neither was I very fixated on it also. So I was like, okay, I'll just start my career small. So I started a very small job in India. It was going to the site as a site engineer. And while all of my classmates were earning really high amounts, it was a very small amount. It wouldn't even cover my bus fee,
Oh my God.
But I was very passionate. Like I was
Very
like, I
nice.
want to be on the site. I want to see what's happening. I want to learn. So measuring or whatever, jumping into the muds or whatever, I was doing that.
So it was purely passion driven.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I knew that I had to learn. So again, when I completed civil engineering, everybody were like, why don't you go for masters and get a job in a college where you go to teach? So I was like, I don't want to teach something which I don't have a practical experience in. So let me first go work in the industry, and if I feel passionate, maybe I might get into teaching, but not as soon as completed, because I don't want to teach something which I don't know.
Correct.
Right. So that
Correct.
was the
That's a big responsibility, isn't it?
exactly right. And I come from a family of teachers, like my mom, both my grandmothers, one of my grandfather on my dad's side. All of them are teachers, and my dad's sister. So it's like a teachers meeting at home. It's everybody's into teaching.
The common part about this particular part is I have my in-laws who have all teachers in the family.
Wow. But you know what happens? They are very much like very academic, right?
Yeah.
In the family. So that was what was happening. So they were like, you have to get into teaching now. But I didn't want to. And then again, I started applying for jobs in Bahrain because my dad was there. So I was like, okay, let me start getting. So within 6 months, I got a job from India. I applied, I got into a job, went to Bahrain. I worked there for 1 year. So I was lucky enough to get a job in which I was assisting the contracts director. So that's why I got into the contract side of things. So construction, FIDIC and all those things. So I was mostly into that. And then I also got married by that time. So then I came to UAE. So my husband used to work here. So I quit my job there, again came to UAE, and then I started working here in UAE.
Which year was that?
That was in 2011. So it's like around 12 years now, 13 years now. Yes. So that's how I started in UAE, again in the construction completely. But then maybe 2 years down the lane, I got my son. I got pregnant with my son. But I worked till the last day
Oh, wow.
on the construction site itself.
Oh,
So
wow.
I was in the site office.
Brilliant.
So, and like till one day before the delivery, I was
Brave mother,
working.
brave mother. And that's something, an inspiration that nothing can stop us. When we
Exactly.
have a passion and we have to achieve something in life, I think we don't think of about anything else.
Yes.
We learn how to balance things. We learn how
Exactly.
to balance our health and manage things. And being women, I think we have this part of
Power to
power of
do
multitasking,
everything.
isn't
Exactly.
it?
It's like nothing can stop us. If we
Yes.
want something, we go and get it. That's
Yes.
the most women have that, I think, right? So I mean, I was also like that. So I worked till the last day, and even after delivery, took a 4 months break. Went back again after maternity. But that was when things started changing. I was into that mom guilt, and I was getting into too much of guilt. I was like, why? By the time he was 1 year old, I wanted to quit. I was like, no, this is not working for me. I want to be full time with my son. So I took a break, almost a year. But that was the worst part of my life, I would say, because I went in to enjoy motherhood, but that was not happening for me. So I straight away went into a mode. I was getting very depressed. It was the most darkest phase of my life. I was like, what do I do? Because until the last day, you're very busy, and suddenly you feel like it's just you and your son. There's nobody else to interact.
You feel completely cut down, isn't it? I had
felt
something similar experience as well.
really.
Though we enjoy the motherhood at that time, but the moment you start interacting with people around, and if
Yes.
you are not updated and upgraded with what is happening in market, and if you cannot interact, that's something you feel like you are downgraded from what you were
Exactly.
doing, and you really want to come up. So it was
Just
something
that identity
similar.
crisis kind of thing, right?
Exactly. So one and a
Yes.
half year, my son was 1.5 years when I moved over here and started the career all over again. So I think we do have a
You
lot of
had that
common
similar
things.
thing,
Yeah.
right? And it is like what am I doing kind of situation. So I started writing on a blog. So I just started writing about my experiences as a mom, as a new mom, my day to day. That started getting a lot of traction. So social media was not so much at that time. It was Facebook was active, Instagram was still gaining traction by the time. LinkedIn was not even around. It was just few people only using it for applying jobs kind of thing at that time. And then so I started writing, a lot of followers and a lot of people started relating, and then it started, a lot of collaboration started coming through it, and then I realized, okay, there's a monetary element to it. So I started learning more. So I developed a proper website for myself, all myself, just googling and learning. The amount of knowledge that is there on Google, like you can learn anything, right?
So true.
So because I didn't have money to invest, that was the situation at that time. I was not earning, so I didn't have anything to invest. I was like, okay, I'll learn myself. I'll do it myself. Created the website. That started going well. But then 1 year down the lane, I was like, okay, let me go back to my work. This is not really going well for me. And so I went back to work. Started focusing on my career, but I was still learning a lot of digital marketing. By that time, that new thing, I kind of liked that. So while I was focusing on growing career, again, the multitasking, I was still learning new marketing, influencer thing. So Instagram started growing. And then I moved to Dubai. I was in Abu Dhabi before, maybe 2017, I moved to Dubai. And again, the career was going well. Then the COVID time happened. That is when a lot of things again changed. Everybody, right?
For many people.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think a lot of them have a lot of stories to tell from the COVID times.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So for me also, it changed at that time. I just so I had a lot of followers. So I was like, maybe why not teach them? So a lot of them were starting their own businesses at that time, small businesses, because everyone is sitting home. Everybody was creative, so starting some sort of business. I was like, okay, why not help them grow on Instagram? And I just started a course, Instagram for Small Business. So we did 3 batches of that course while everybody was in the lockdown phase. And that was going well. I was like, so all of them were women. So I was like, why not let them meet? That is how Homepreneurs Club was born.
Beautiful.
So just for them to interact. So we turned it into a membership after 3 batches of the course. And then it was like, I was still working full time. So it was like a weekend thing. Like every weekend I would do some webinars, most related to marketing. That was all Homepreneurs Club was all about. And then it started growing. So after some point, people started coming out of their homes. So we started doing in-person meetups and it started growing from there. Then I quit my job. I was like, now I want to do something on my own. So I was like, okay. So, but I quit my job while I was at the peak of my career. So you were.
I think I'm talking in the mirror.
I think our life is quite the same, similar timelines and similar things, right? Yeah. So I mean, that's how everything started. Then it started getting into different verticals, and that's how it all grew. That's my story.
Very interesting story. And what I liked about you is you always had a learning attitude.
Yes.
You were so brave throughout the period. You never gave up and you kept going and nothing stopped you. You kept exploring different areas. You learned and you made best out of it.
Yes.
So I think this is something which is very inspirational for many women out there, and they also get into frustration mode.
Yes.
They get too busy with their daily routines.
Yes.
And this is something I think is an inspiration for them to learn that there is no time period given to you that you will start on certain day, right? Yes. You can start immediately. Yes. The moment you get the ideas, the moment you get little time, start. Yes. Somewhere. Exactly. That starting point is very important, isn't it?
Very true, very true.
And the
it's
platform.
Not like procrastinating. Instead,
exactly.
Just start and
yes.
just jump.
Yes.
Sometimes there's too much of planning we do, right?
For you, there was nobody.
Yes.
So what you did is you created a platform. Yes. So which is an advantage for every single woman out there to take advantage, yes. Come on the platform because you have like-minded people over there, exactly. Who can exchange business and we all can grow together. And this is something that I believe in, is growing together. Yes. Because going alone will not lead us anywhere. We all have to come together, support each other and grow together.
Very true. Very
beautiful
true.
Journey. Beautiful journey.
And I can see that from you also. You are also into multiple businesses, yes. Right?
Absolutely.
So maybe how did that also happen?
Very interesting. So it was kind of an awakening for me. So my journey started in 2000 when I completed my exams in Bachelor of Commerce.
Okay.
With the specialization in economics and entrepreneurship, because that is what I wanted to become.
So you had that entrepreneur gene in you at that
Always. It has been with me throughout.
Nice.
So I went for a job. I got the job and my journey of corporate started from there. So after 23 years, when my corporate journey was at the peak again, and it was taking a lot of time away from me and I was not able to focus with the family. Okay. Then it's like giving a rethinking whether it's worth enough for you to put so much of time where you are not even being able to balance your life, isn't it? Yes. And it's all about me. I have to grow. I have to do things. So where is that balance of spiritualism where you want to give back to society?
Yes, yes.
So that's when I reconciled myself and started my new journey as an entrepreneur. And because that was there and so much of passion was built up for so many years, I had to do so many things.
Yes.
So I started my real estate firm and it's into brokerage of commercials and residential. Then I started with the business solution. It's a one-stop shop and the consultation because again, I work with partners. We grow together, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
So because you have a very good network, we can provide solutions, any kind of solution required by the corporates. Then we also have Iconic Alphas as a brand, which is, you are my Iconic Alpha for the show today.
Thank you.
Nice. So starting with the podcast, digital magazine, trainings, workshops. So yeah, a lot of
verticals.
So all that passion is coming out now.
Very nice, very nice. I think it's the right time now for you to start. And I think you started with the book. Congratulations on the launch of the book as well. Right?
Thank you very much. So that was the first thought that came to me when I wanted to start my business. It's like you need to put your strategies first in place, right? Sure. So when I started putting the strategies in place, it's like, why not share it with everybody?
Nice, nice.
And
that's how the book was born.
Exactly.
Okay. So it was something more of a solution for yourself. Then it's like, it's something that you can actually give it to others as well.
Correct. Because my education also was Masters in Strategy, Leadership and Management from Michigan State University. So the qualification, the experience of so many years, packed it together, bundled it in the book, which is going to help every single person, whether you're in corporate or you're starting your own businesses.
Nice.
So yeah, even for the students, because I came across somebody the other day in the conference and they're like, my son is wanting to understand what's a corporate strategy. I said, that's your answer.
That's the answer. Nice,
so I'm glad it's helping a lot of people.
Very nice, very nice. Good, good.
So To come back with some of the questions, what was the biggest challenge when you started this journey of homepreneurs?
Okay.
So, if you can share any of your story of any one of the challenges that you faced and how did you overcome?
Well, when I started Homepreneurs, the biggest thing was not having a strategy.
I should have written earlier, isn't it?
Yeah, I should have read the book earlier. Because again, I was working full time, right? So it was more like I wanted to give back, but I didn't know how to give back. I knew I wanted to impact the lives of more women, and one-on-one coaching was not a solution for me, because I know if I could mentor 20 people, but not more than that. So I was seeing a lot of women who were into business, but they knew their art well, whatever sector of business they are in, that side they know well. But how do you market it? How should you do the accounting for it? So this part is lacking with a lot of them, right? And I was a commercial manager. I was working as commercial manager in the company. So I'm always seeing the P&Ls, the numbers, the revenue. Why not package it and give it to the SMEs, the smaller businesses? Because the principle is same, right?
Correct.
So I wanted to give back, but how do I give it back? So that was like, okay, maybe initially it was more like a courses and coaching kind of thing. And then I realized this, they don't just require the marketing or just require the coaching. They also need a place to implement it. How do they go out and network and find new clients, right? So it was an evolution. So it was after starting the club, then I started taking a few courses on how do you build a community? How do you build a digital community, digital course? So that I had to do it maybe almost after 1 year of starting the club.
Oh, wow.
Right? Because only then I can help them. Like this community, until it grows, it's not a point for them, right? Only when they are able to connect with more people through the club, then they know
Correct.
it is going to be of value to them, right? So it was my responsibility to grow that network so that they don't have to do that hard part, but we give them that network. So then I invested into different courses at that time, when I realized on how do you grow a digital platform or a digital course platform or a network, all those things. So that was one thing which was lacking when I started. So I think most people do that. Like, you should have a strategy for your business when you start.
Very important.
So which was not there. Now, after we set the strategy in place, it started growing multifold. So like last year around this time, we were like 50 members, 50 to 60 members. Now we are 160 members. So
That's a
that
big
3.5
number.
years, you see, the graph is like this, and suddenly it's like this.
Very nice.
Right? That's because when you started applying the strategy to the platform.
It's very
So
important.
that's what's, I think, the biggest challenge we had, and this is how we solved it. I think when you have a challenge, go to an expert and learn and implement. I think
That's what is very important when it comes to subject matter experts.
Exactly.
Feel free, go reach out to them, learn from them. And I really love this learning attitude that you have. From time to time, the moment you find any kind of gaps, you do take a course.
Exactly.
And then you start implementing
Exactly.
that. That's really nice.
Yes.
And when talking about the strategies, it's very important for us to look from the long term.
Yes.
And then start working backwards.
Yes.
And then create the short term ones.
Exactly.
So then we're able to reach the goal.
So now for the club, we have put a 5-year long strategy. Now, like you said, now we have started back working. That only happened after we invested into different learning platforms to understand that, right? So I think it's more about investing in your business, investing in the learning for your business, or maybe going to the coaches or whatever who is there to help you. Then I think it takes you to the next level.
Very nice. So coming back, Bilina, to understand, what is your long-term vision now with your 2 babies? One is your homepreneur and
Yes.
the other one which is your marketing side.
Yes. So when it comes to Homepreneurs Club, it's a one-to-many offer, right? So for the members to really benefit from the network, they need to have more people coming in. So there are 2 things with any kind of membership platforms. One is the growth, which is bringing in more people, and the retention. Retention happens when they get value out of it, right? So these are the 2 things as a founder I'm taking care of. So one is growth. So we have set an initial target of reaching 350 members in UAE, right? And once that is reached, of course, the growth should continue. But once we reach 350, I also want to start going global on it.
Very
I haven't
nice.
discussed this on a
Beautiful.
public platform yet, so
I'm so
this is
happy and honored that this is being announced on my show, because since I have my business global, I'll be more than happy to collaborate with you and
Amazing.
take it global.
Amazing.
It's a new deal signed off on the show.
Amazing.
Interesting.
So this is what is the plan for the club, and the reason, just like you, right, we have members who wants to go global or who are already into global platforms in the business, so they should be able to get more networks through that. So that is the vision for the Homepreneurs Club. Let it grow, and the retention is giving more value to the club members. And the biggest value, which I say for the Homepreneurs, though we have learning sessions, workshops, everything, one thing is there, right? People learn, but are they implementing?
Yes.
Right?
Very important.
So it's more like that is there, but I want people to get business from it. Right? I want women to really focus on growing their business. So one thing is growing their connections and networks. So our promise is we'll bring you the connections. So we need to bring more people in. So we are constantly investing into bringing more people into the club so that everybody starts getting more and more value out of it. So this is our long-term strategy for the club. And everyone asks me, like, what's the biggest benefit of club? So my team tells about the features. We have 4 meetups. I said, no, that's not the biggest benefit. The biggest benefit of the club is the community.
Correct.
That is what we have created, right? A
Very
community
nice.
of people who wants to give back to each other. So this is the biggest benefit of the club, and we are working on making that community stronger every day. So this is our long-term strategy for the club. And when it comes to my other business, my construction marketing, the strategy is more of working with global brands again. Right now, all our brands are based in UAE. There also, I want to start going global, because if you look at a lot of markets, there's a lot of construction, a lot of growth, a lot of real estate, and all of this happening in different parts of the world. So we want to become that, what do you say, the best marketing solution in the construction industry. So anybody in the world we think of marketing for a construction agency, we want us to be there.
Very
This is
nice.
the biggest dream
Very
we have.
nice. Wishing you all the very best.
Thank you.
And I hope you are able to achieve your dreams
Hopefully,
as soon as possible.
Hopefully. So these are the 2 dreams we have.
Very nice.
Nice.
While looking at this beautiful journey, Bilna, tell me, when you started, just to go back, when you started as a civil engineer, it's more of a male dominated industry,
Yes.
isn't it?
Tell me about it. Every meetings I have attended, I am usually the only lady in the room.
I would definitely want to understand the challenges that you faced, how you were able to come out of it, and what type of support you got. Not to always show the negative side of
Yes,
male
yes.
dominated areas, but there are a lot of people who always support us as well. So share that journey, because we really want to inspire women to come out of the comfort zone and be bold enough to take these kind
Take
of
up these
different
roles.
exactly
Right?
Not necessarily we have to be saturated in that area, but even if it is niche and you are starting off,
Yes.
I think that becomes a very beautiful journey to inspire the next generations.
Yes, definitely. So I have 2 experiences. So I've worked in India, I've worked in Bahrain, I've worked in UAE. These are 3 areas when I have worked in construction. The experience in India, I would say it was like there I was working on the sites and all, but it was not very welcoming. Things have changed now. Maybe now it's already 13 years from then, right? Things have changed. But again, if I compare it to the UAE, the construction, maybe because the laws are stricter here or it's more organized sector here. So the respect you get when you
Yeah.
go on a site walk as a
Very
woman,
important.
right?
Yes.
That is quite different here.
Mhm.
Here, people are there to support you. I have never had a negative experience at a site.
Very nice.
Right? I have never felt like I'm not secure, even when I'm walking along through the dark corridors in a construction site. I have never had a second thought, oh my God, will somebody do something to me? That was not there. But in India, I had to always have my guards on. So that was a difference. And like I have worked while I was pregnant. Both my pregnancies, I was working and I was visiting construction sites and all those, right? It was always supportive. I have never had anything bad going on. So I would always encourage women to come to this industry because there's nothing, men are not going to eat you. They are good. You know? So they actually welcome you
Yeah,
on board.
yeah.
I think now, if you think from a business perspective, somebody who's hiring you on board, right? We say as women we want to have equal rights, but we just also need to think, as a woman, are you ready to contribute equally like your men, right? Because the business decisions, it's not like, oh, I'm a woman, I can't go to the site. Then it changes. Then you might have
Correct.
to take a position that is only based on office. So that might restrict you. So you are your own restriction. If you're free, if you're ready to go and explore the industry, it's a very good industry to
Very
be.
nice.
This is what I would tell any women who wants to go.
Very.
There were a few instances, like some of the site offices we went, because I was not full time there. I used to be just having to visit that site. So one thing was that there was no washroom for women
Mm-hmm.
on that side, because there was no women. I was just going there maybe once in a week. But maybe they didn't realize that I was coming, so I didn't have that. So I spoke to the project manager there. I'm coming here, maybe even if it's just once a month, it is my right to have a washroom there. And they got it done by the next week. So that's what it's like. You have to voice your opinion. You have to tell what you
This
need.
is important.
Right?
More than we keep thinking and just talking with our colleagues or our
It's
friends.
more about tell to the right people.
Exactly. Speak to the right people.
Yes.
You will get the solutions.
Exactly.
So yeah, voice it up. It's very, very important. And dare to achieve your dreams.
Exactly.
It's
There's
very
nothing
important.
stopping you.
Nothing stops. Nothing stops.
It's only you who's stopping yourself. I
Correct.
feel,
It's a
right?
mindset, isn't
It's
it?
our own mindset. There's nobody else. Our biggest enemy is our own mindset.
Correct. The moment we start controlling it,
Yes. Oh, what
life
will
becomes
others
beautiful.
think? What will people think? These kind of thoughts are only from inside. Nobody has time to think about you.
Correct.
That's the first
I
thing.
realized this when I came in Dubai.
Yes.
Life was so busy, and I'm like, what I keep thinking about, because everybody is busy. So let me start putting my acts together and focus in my life.
Exactly. Stay in
Yeah.
your lane and just go and achieve your dreams. That's
Completely
all.
agree. And as you mentioned specifically about Dubai, having respect. I think this and the safety part. I think these are two major
Things that
major
would pull
points.
people into this
Exactly.
country,
And that
right?
was my motivation as well when I moved over here. Every nationality is treated respectfully.
Yes.
And your corporate environment is so welcoming. It's so respectful. Anywhere you go, it's
You
safety.
can go at any time of the day. There's
For
any
you,
place.
for your children.
Yes.
It's really nice. So yeah.
So that's one of the, I think safety aspect is the biggest reason. Safety and comfort.
Yes.
These two things are the best things I enjoy the most about this country, I think.
That's really nice. And the best part is, because the country is growing, we all are growing along with that.
Yes.
There's a lot of learning opportunities as well.
Yes.
Because things are evolving every single day. So we adapt to a
I
lot
think it's
of
a
things.
land of opportunities.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, absolutely. You said it.
If you're ready
and
to
that's
grab
why we both are
it, there's
enjoying it, isn't it?
opportunities. Yes.
And many of you also can enjoy. Exactly. It's just that you need to start somewhere.
Yes. Yeah. You have to keep your hands ready to receive.
Correct.
Right? Then
Correct.
it comes to you. Nice.
Now tell me, you've been so busy in life, isn't it?
Yes.
How do you balance your time with your family and your work?
I would say this is a challenge, of course, like as we were discussing before this interview. I think time is the most valuable resource anybody can have. And this is the biggest struggle also I've had, like 3.5 years into business. I think there's a point where we all get distracted a lot. Right. So this is something I was telling. We just wrote a blog post in Homepreneurs Club 2 days back. It was about how many networking events should you actually go to.
Yes,
Right?
very important. Because the way nowadays there are so many clubs, so
Yes,
many
so many
networking
networks.
programs.
Yes.
I mean, it's just flooded. So how do you select the right one?
Yes. So what I would say is, right, I wouldn't say you have to come for Homepreneurs Club. That it's not like that. So what I say is you choose 1 or 2 networks as your primary networks. I am saying this from the experience of wasting a lot of my time. So choose 1 or 2 networks that you feel are that you connect well with. Choose 2 of them and be a regular there. So maybe once a week you go to these networks, right? And others, I keep it as my secondary network. So there are still so many good other networks. So I keep them as my secondary networks. I might go there once a month. So I'll choose 1, right? So I will choose weekly there's a meetup plus 1, right? That would be from my secondary network, anyone. Depending on which business I'm focusing on this month, or depending on what are my goals for the month, I would choose out of those 5, I'll choose one to go for this month. Next month, I might choose the other one. So, in that, why I'm very specific about this is because I see, including myself, I was drawn into this because we are all driven by that FOMO.
Correct.
Right? Oh, my friend is gone, or my competitor is gone in that
And I'm
event.
missing out.
Am I missing out on opportunities? And what I see with a lot of us entrepreneurs is our calendar gets filled so fast, right? Maybe 5 days a week, maybe 4 days we're going for a networking event. Then where's the time to work? Do you have time to work on your business? Because somebody has to be the visionary for your business. Who is doing that, right? I understood this late in my life. Like in that 3.5 years, maybe at least 2.5 I wasted on it. Then also, it after realizing also, it took me time to cut it down, right? Because you say yes to so many opportunities and it becomes so saturated. So now my priority is, like, I say more no than yes now.
Oh, very nice.
But it took me that 3.5 years to reach that point, right? It's because we feel like, oh, will I hurt that person? If I don't go to this place, will they feel bad? Or, so these kind of things. So again, you have to first see what is most important, prioritizing. I think that's the most important, having a strict calendar and keeping guard of your time, not letting it go here and there, because money you can make, but time you can't make more.
Correct.
Right? So it's about focusing and staying focused. So, and consistently do those activities.
Correct.
That's
and then
enough.
how much time are you spending with the family while you balance it out?
So weekends are completely for my kids and my family. This is my policy. So how much ever attractive that event is, 99% I'll not go. Or it might be a family event. So I go with my kids and family. Otherwise, I don't. So a lot of times people ask me, oh, we had an event, you didn't come for it in the weekend. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't. I have to do with my kids. I think we have to draw that line. Otherwise, there's no end to it, right? And weekdays, there are days I miss out on a lot of things on my kids. I'm not a perfect mom. There are a lot of things I miss out in terms of their homeworks, in terms of their activities. I try to be the best I can. There's no perfect balance to it.
There is nothing called as perfect in this life.
Yes.
It's everything we trial and error.
Exactly.
And we are our own benchmark. Yes. We have to just become a better self of us every single day.
You yourself is also a mom. How do you do it from your side? What's your secret mantra on the time? Because I know you are also into different verticals like me, right?
Yes.
So what do you do on your side?
So starting with the same is, first of all, time management, extremely important. Prioritization, extremely important. So sometimes, yes, there are days when you really get lost between everything. So you have to take a break, consolidate everything, and make sure that you understand the calendar of your child also.
Exactly.
Because they have
Husband,
commitments.
child,
They need, exactly.
Right.
So it's very important to prioritize all the work, and whatever is important is what you take now. Important, urgent. Everything which is not urgent and important can always be delayed at the later part. So that's how I manage it out. And of course, because I have different verticals, I have to dedicate days in managing those particular focused areas.
Yes.
So yeah, that's how I manage out my time in prioritization and time management. That's something that I learned during my corporate days, and it really helped me from the long-term perspective. In everything that I do, I was saved from burning my fingers. I was saved from wasting my time.
Very nice. You were already trained on the time management.
Thanks to my company.
Right.
They really invested a lot in all type of training programs for us. So there are a lot of people who moved out from the company, and when I meet them as well, I mean, I call my company as a school. So they really helped us, groomed us very well. So whoever is wherever now, they all are doing really good.
I think that is the best thing about when you don't start your business soon after your college days. You actually work somewhere. You see how the companies are run. Correct. And so you take back that knowledge and implement it on your business.
It's important to have a mentor in your life. Yes. Whether it's somebody from your family, so if it's a family business, then you have a mentorship continual basis, right? You can immediately join. But if you have no knowledge
starting
of business, it is always advisable, come in the corporate environment, learn from there, and be proactive.
Yes.
Because the more proactive you are, you will be able to learn
More
multiple
things.
things. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes. Don't just stick to your role only, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's my mantra. And
Nice.
my kids are happy. My husband is happy.
Nice. When you mentioned about your kid's schedule also in the calendar, right? That is one mistake I was making. Okay. So while I was in corporate, I had a 9 to 5 calendar. Outside that, it was messed up. Okay. And then when I went to the business side, right? I used to have a calendar for my weekdays and weekends were for my kids. But even on the weekends, things were like all messed up. I'm just doing randomly a lot of things. Now I started putting those as well on my calendar. It changed a lot of things. Like, if they have an activity, I'm putting it on my calendar.
Correct. So we
I
don't miss
even
out
have
on it.
weekly meetings with my husband put on my calendar.
Oh, wow.
It might sound a little odd, but
But it is
that
important
works.
because it's a conscious effort, right?
Yes.
Any relationship
Yes.
needs a conscious effort. You
Yes.
can't take any relationship for granted.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it? Yeah.
So it took a lot of convincing to put that in both our calendars, but now we have done that.
Very nice. And then it just becomes like in
Yes,
back
then
of your
you know
mind.
that on that day you
Correct.
both are going out and that's your couple
Your
time.
time.
Nobody's taking your time
Very
out
important.
of it, right?
Very important.
So
Very important.
So yes.
Great. So tell me or tell the audience something that we are not aware of. Any fun fact about yourself? Must be a secret you're opening up on my show today.
Maybe one thing, I'm scared of dogs. I think.
Really? This is something we're not in common about.
You love dogs.
I love dogs. I love
Okay.
pets. I have two
Wow.
cats now.
Oh, nice.
And when I was growing, I had a dog. So I am pet friendly mom. Yeah.
So I love seeing dogs. I like cute dogs. I like to see them from the distance. But when they come near, I don't know, I am a bit scared. So my kids keep telling me we need to get a pet. And I am so scared because of that, I'm not able to get a pet at home. So maybe that is something people don't know. Maybe other than that, I'm actually an introvert. Again, people don't believe that when I say.
Yeah, I cannot believe that.
So,
for sure.
So because I do this community events, I'm at the stage talking, I do podcasts. So I'm able to do that. But if I go to a random networking event, right, you will see me sitting in one corner waiting for somebody to come and talk to me. That's the kind of, I have been trying to do a lot of homework to come out of it, but I find it very hard to start conversations with people. So maybe that's something people don't know.
I can coach you on that. Because I was an introvert at one given point of time. And
you have come out of that.
I have come out of it, and now I can't stop talking. I'll be the first one to go and approach.
Very nice. That's nice.
No, it really helps a lot to break that ice. It's important to push ourselves from that comfort zone.
Yes.
And nothing is impossible.
Yes. So only good thing about running the club is that because we are organizers, people naturally come to you and speak.
You.
So
I'm going to invite you to other networking events. Yes. Very nice. So, just to wrap up before we have more questions, is there anything that you always wanted to work on as an idea?
Okay.
And what would be your thought of that creative idea? If given a chance, would you want to work on it?
Maybe there's a technology I want to, because as entrepreneurs, I would say, like, we all have so much of ideas going around our heads. Even when you're going to sleep, there's some idea popping up. If there was something to download and directly put it on a document, I don't know. This is something I have been thinking of. What is the solution? I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to work on it because it's a technological thing. I'm not an expert on technology.
So it's a thinking machine.
Yeah, like
kind
an
of
idea,
sci-fi thing.
Machine. If someone else would invent it, also I would go grab it.
Very nice.
So that's something I would say. Maybe out of the box thing.
Very nice. I'm sure this technology, when it comes, I'll remember
a lot of entrepreneurs have.
Yeah, that's true.
So
organizing yourself.
Organizing your thoughts.
Yes. Especially women.
Yes.
Great. It was lovely having you, Bilina, on the show. Wishing you all the very best for all your ventures.
Thank you so much.
Amazing job of supporting all the women out there, bringing them together on this platform and supporting them. So, very proud of you.
And I'm very proud of you too. And the feeling is mutual.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me here on your show as well.
Thank you.
It's my honor to be here.
Thank you so much, Bilina.
Thank you.